maneuver. I think what he's doing is simply trying to distract the New Zealand driver to make him look at his mirrors instead of looking forward. That's really a tactic, that's just an experience. But Johnny Reid so far resists all the pressure that's coming from Timo Scheider in the Team Germany car. Now this turns 13 as
Lebanon off.
Yes.
And that's Khalil Bashir, the man who survived that frightening accident. China as well. I wonder if they tangled. And Tung Jiang for China. He's been very impressive this weekend. Let's see what happened. Lebanon down the inside, and oh dear.
Well, that was a no-hooper of all no-hoopers. He was going probably 15-20 miles an hour quicker than we saw from Tung Jiang as he turned into turn 10. No chance whatsoever.
So the Chinese car through the gravel, and then as he managed to get back out, he managed to sort of keep it going. There's pretty hard-packed gravel here at the Euro Speedway, and there is an opportunity to get back out. Look in the background, Malaysia and Canada are racing hard for position, but Malaysia just manages to cover it. Alex Young is an experienced racer. He's not going to leave the door open to the Canadian car, but now here's a real good chance for Sean McIntosh. Look at Italy in there as well.
I mean, Alex Young has got tons of experience, but clearly under pressure from young Sean McIntosh. And you're allowed to make one blocking maneuver. You're not allowed to go back across the track again. As Malaysia, Canada and Italy battling all the way. This is for 6th position.
Oh, right out over the curb, there they go, and Alex Young using every inch of space. Sean McIntosh for Canada on the attack, with Italy right behind them, and also this is allowing Mexico to close up, making it a 4-way race for 6th position. And behind Mexico, it's Japan. Very experienced driver Hideki Noda could join on. We're right on board here. Look at this from Malaysia's car, looking back at the Canadian entry of Sean McIntosh.
So Sean McIntosh has got to get his car as close as possible to pick up the draft. You've got big wings in these cars, you've got big rear tires. It causes a great big vacuum behind the car you're following to allow you to be drawn up to the back, and maybe if you get an opportunity, slide alongside. Sean McIntosh looks for the chance, but wasn't close enough that time.
Sean McIntosh impressing many people. He's a youngster. He's been racing in Formula Renault in the UK. He's taken a big step up here to race an A1 Grand Prix car, but he's learning every time that he goes out, and he's impressing his team bosses. Good race car developing for 2nd as well. Switzerland still 2nd, Brazil 3rd, New Zealand 4th. Germany can't find a way past as yet. They're still 5th. 6th Malaysia, all yellow and white. Then Canada behind, the blue of Italy, and then they're chased by the red, white and green of Mexico. Japan in 10th place, Ireland still in 11th place.
So still looking back from Team Malaysia, Alex Young, as we look into the cockpit almost of Team Canada. Come back on up to turn 9, and certainly we've seen Team Canada push very hard. Also Team Ireland now trying to find a way to increase that battle into a top 10, into a top 11.
India running in the hands of Karan Chanduk. We've seen the Czech Republic move up. Thomas Enger, very experienced driver in both Europe and in the United States. First outing for him, though, in A1 Grand Prix. There is Timo Scheider for Germany. He does look like one of the major threats here, but over the last lap, Johnny Reid has just managed to keep it under control. Off goes the Indian car. Karan Chanduk takes to the gravel.
Yes, that's down at turn 11, I think.
This is how he did it, John. A little bit too late on the brakes.
Yes, if you dive down the inside, it's an acute turn. You've got to get the speed off. If you don't, you're just going to run across the corner onto the gravel. And that's where we saw that other, well, Team Malaysia made a blinding dive down the inside. No chance of making the corner. And, of course, had contact with Team China.
That's brought the Czech Republic into 13th place, that little spin. But France leads this race by 2.1 seconds from Switzerland, Brazil very close behind. Then it's New Zealand running in 4th and Germany in 5th place. 6th place still for Malaysia, but look at them all ganging up on Alex Young. We're riding on board the Malaysian car, holding on to 6th place at the moment, but it is a great race. Canada behind, and right behind them it's Italy, Mexico and Ireland.
So Sean McIntosh really looking to, he's moving around the racetrack trying to find the piece of track that will give him the run off the corner to put in position to into turn 9 as an example. But going into turn 9 isn't an easy overtaking place. Down into turn 10, if you get it right, is slightly easier, but if you misjudge it, well, we've seen two big misjudgments into turn 10. If you get it wrong, you go straight across the track into this gravel trap.
A little lock up for Canada. Just to advise you, the race director Ian Watson has said that the USA, Great Britain and Netherlands teams will all be under investigation as a result of that first corner accident.
Yes, I think the Netherlands were probably very much a passenger in that, but nevertheless they have to be brought in, have to give their explanations, and race director will then decide if there's fault or blame, and if there is, the consequence will be in his hands.
Remember, how they finish this sprint race is crucial because it's how they line up for the feature race, the longer race with the pit stop later on this afternoon. And still Malaysia managing to fend off Canada. It's a good race between these two currently, but France are the ones who have the edge here because they've got a lead of just under 2 seconds from Switzerland. Brazil, Nelson Piquet Jr. showing great pace again, but as yet he hasn't been able to find a way past that Swiss car. New Zealand in 4th, Germany 5th, and then it's Malaysia, Canada, these whole bunch of cars, Italy in there, Mexico and Ireland, Japan running 11th, South Africa in the hands of Thomas Schechter running 12th ahead of his teammate from the IRL, Thomas Enger for the Czech Republic. So that's a fun situation to see them running 12th and 13th, 14th place for Austria, 15th for Indonesia, 16th for Australia, and after that trip across the gravel, India running down in 17th and China 18th. Looking down over the leaders, France have a wonderful lead at the moment over the race for second between Switzerland and Brazil.
Yes, it's Brazil, in fact, has got the fastest race lap to date. That was set in lap 8, 1:34.95, so Nelson Piquet Jr. doing the best he can, but he's some 2.2 seconds down in time overall in France, and running just about half a second down on Switzerland. Neil Yarni in second place. But this is the battle between Malaysia, Canada, Italy, Mexico, Ireland, Japan, and probably South Africa if we could just have a wide enough camera lens. And Alex Young now, seemingly he's got the situation in control in spite of all the efforts of Sean McIntosh. And a couple of 3 laps ago, he was really all over the back of the Malaysia car. Now, maybe just catching his breath, giving himself the opportunity. 7 laps to go to make one more lunge and try and take away that 6th place.
Just under 7 laps to go now in this sprint race, the first of the 2 races here in the World Cup of Motorsport from the Euro Speedway at Lausitz. And watch Nelson Piquet Jr. for Brazil. He's hounding Switzerland.
And he's closing down because once again on this, the 11th lap, we're now on lap 12, has set the fastest race lap. So he's not happy with running in 3rd place behind Neil Yarni for Team Switzerland. He's closed up, but again coming into turn 9, no opportunity to pass. Don't get too close in this corner because it's all about speed off turn 9. It's a long exit. You have to build speed up through that corner. If you get too close mid-corner, you're going to lose front-end grip and therefore lose any hope of maintaining that gap.
Good result in prospect, though, for Switzerland here. Their best finish at the opening meeting was a 9th place in the sprint race, and they got caught up in some of the first lap accidents that were going on in the feature race. So he didn't get a result really in the feature race at Brands Hatch. Neil Yarni in the silver Team Switzerland car, but at the moment he's holding on to second and doing a fine job of fending off the advances of the Brazilian Nelson Piquet Jr. And it's France that continue lead. Now there are just 6 laps to go.
Yes, Yarni seems to have a slight advantage coming out of turn 13. That's the tight corner that leads on to this long pit straight. And it's preventing Nelson Piquet Jr., Team Brazil, from getting that run into turn 1 to get under the rear wing and then be able to pull out before you get to the braking distance to try and get alongside that. Therefore, once you hit the brakes, you're not going to find the other car, Team Switzerland in this case, coming back at you.
France enjoying an advantage here despite the intervention of the safety car in the early stages. Hasn't slowed them down at all. Nicolas Lapierre's looked composed and confident and has opened up his